Check, check, check. Oh, you already checked them? No, not if you already checked them. So we are currently live and streaming. All we have to do is push the center thing and it's good to go.
Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome to the grand opening of Kala Loka Institute of Fine. A production that will come out of that incubation, and we will promote it. And we hope that more organizations will host a diversity circle and invite of some artists and to come together and from different backgrounds, not just from the same discipline necessarily. The idea is to cross-pollinate ideas between not just the artistic disciplines, but also between cultures. So that is the idea. I need all your support. Prave needs all your support to make it happen. We are happy to help coordinate these events wherever. If your organization would like to host something like this, please reach out to us, and we would be very happy to support that, coordinate it for you if that's something you find hard to do or anything. But let's make it happen. So today we have we'd invited a few artists, but 3 of them have been able to come in this situation, and I'm very grateful. Thank you so much. I have Ibi Inka Alao, who's a Nigerian artist from the UN Nigerian outfit. And I have Leah Uribe from, I'm so sorry, Leah Uribe. She does amazing work at the University of Arkansas, and she's a very big promoter of diversity. So I'm very grateful you are here today. And of course, we have our own Megha Rao, who's been such a guiding star in the Indian community for hard work and, who's always asking for work and collaboration. So we're very thrilled that she's also here. And we hope that whether the three of you or, that this session will lead to some other relationship, some other incubation of some sort in the future. We hope we'll have something to work on soon through all of you. So let me invite EB first. He's the odd man out. I'll call him first. And then the women will take over. If you'd like to say a few words.
Well, thank you so much. Sister, it's really wonderful to be here. Thank you for all you are doing, Vidya. And for this opening, really, for me, it just seems like a continuation of something that already started long ago. The Ravi Cultural Center has been so warm towards me and towards so many artists. I mean, I cannot even count the number of programs that have happened here already. So if this is how you do opening, that you've already done all these programs before the opening, I can just imagine what's gonna happen. And so it's a blessing to be here with Leah and Mega. Having seen all that you do, I feel very honored and very humbled to be here and to see just wonderful, fantastic faces. Karen Wegerman, if you don't know her, she directs the experimental house that hosted me. This is the reason I came to NWA to begin with. So I'm very honored, and what a joy. What I would just talk about is diversity, as the subject says. I will use the analogy of water, the river. I grew up near the river Niger. Africa has many rivers, the Zambezi, the river Nile, the river Niger is the second longest. And so the stories around water has always inspired me since childhood. And you have all rivers, of course, they empty into the ocean. And so I want to use that. When I mention river, think of it as diversity, a diverse situation, and the beauty of that diversity. And when I mention a lake, think of it as non-diverse. And a lake is beautiful for many reasons, but it's taken away from the river, and then animals don't live as well in it. So for me, it always seems like that when each and every one of us, we have our stories to tell. We are born in a culture, and we grow up in that culture telling our stories. Our lives are a reflection of our growing up. Unfortunately, sometimes a river, as it's flowing back, we are flowing back into where we are coming from, into the ocean, but many times lake is taken away from it. So the tributary of the river is kind of injured, so that the water doesn't flow back into the ocean. It just becomes a lake. And so I view this situation so much as storytelling. A lot of people who do not know anything about where I'm coming from or the work that I do or my culture have always been willing to tell my stories in their own way. For no fault of theirs, but they don't just understand some of the core values of the culture I'm coming from. So I look at it as taking away the story from the river, or taking away the part of the river to dam it in a lake, and then everything dries with the kind of story that they tell about me. So how I wish that they can connect back to the river that I'm coming from in order to be able to tell this story correctly. So, but it happens time to time. That's why we have flooding sometimes, when the mother nature really tries to bring back all the water bodies back to the ocean. So, I mean, it's a disaster, we know, but oftentimes we do see that reconnection happening. This is when the truth is told. This is when we build friendships. when we build relationships and make our world a lot more diverse. How beautiful it is. I've seen it in New York City. I've seen it right here in NWA. I've seen it in other parts of the world. I've had the opportunity to travel too. I have seen it most especially at this Rave Cultural Center. This past few weeks, just experiencing the influx of different people. Split here or that day, and so the, will you help me get it? I think it's so these guys will help me hold it up just for you to see. So a lot of my pictures are inspired by the colors of West Africa because of the closeness to the sun. But as I travel, I still do that. There's one thing in particular that I use to represent diversity in my pictures, and that's the quilt in the sky. That's because my mother is a tailor, and she's always talking about sewing together instead of separating things. So these guys will help. Thank you so much. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so come behind. Good job, guys. So in the painting is called Grace, that even the world can pass through it. Because my mom's name is also Grace, and if you notice towards that side where Dietra is, you see the needle that kind of sews the different patches of the sky together. So the idea is really that, you know, a quilt may be made up of different multicolored pieces of fabric. Some of it is new, some of it is old and worn out, but that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, for the quilt at least, it doesn't matter what constitutes each individual part of the quilt. Maybe some of the colors in life we like, maybe some of the colors we do not like, but that at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter that whether we like something or not, whether we like a culture or not, and I mean that seriously, that whether we are comfortable with a culture that we are not familiar with or not, that does it really matter? Because as long as this is something that brightens our lives, that sewing all these cultures together may brighten somebody else's life in the future, and that makes living life in a diverse way worth it. And so that's the story. I always hope that anyone looking at my picture derives happiness or joy from looking at it. So if it does that to you, then I feel I'm a little successful in it. So just that brightness, joy, it means that a lot to me. Also, notice that I emphasize the muscles and the bones. This is also for diversity, to show the likeness of all people. So in a lot of the people that I paint, I try to take away elements of identity like skin color and all by painting them so many different colors that's what we are. You know, it doesn't matter what is on the outside of us, it matters what is on the inside. And so that's the story there. Can I have a warm hand for this four again? All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to hand it over to, is it Vidya or to Leah? Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Leah. Good job, guys.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's such a nice event this afternoon, and I'm so honored to have been invited to join and to celebrate with all of you the opening of this beautiful space and the dream coming true and the dream that continues that needs to be fed by all of us. I chose, even though I am a musician, I play the bassoon, teach at the University of Arkansas, and play with SONE, the Symphony of Northwest Arkansas, and I'm very active with music. I chose another artist, and this is Magdalena Gomez. She is a Latina writer born in New York to a Puerto Rican mother and a Spanish father. And from her book, Shameless Woman, I want to read a short poem. I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. The name of this poem is In Praise of Learning. Boricua mother, Dominican upbringing, Spanish father, Taino beginning, African soul. I am rice and beans, I am plátano, I am mofongo, I am cassave, I am sweet potato pie. I am El Yunque, I am Puerto Plata, I am San Juan, I am Madrid, I am Abidjan. I am negra in the core of my soul, in her skin a sweet ancestral plum. Don't let this face some call hincha fool you, take you into geographical error. I am Boricua. I am a source of terror when I show the depths of who I am. Proud, alive, full of promise. I am the promised land and don't make promises I can't keep. I am mango. I am melocoton. I am from New York City. I am from El Rincón. My heart is conga. My bones are clave. My blood is salsa. My way is suave. I kick up salt in Utah. I read books in Ohio. I plant trees in Oregon. I am a gay Jewish dentist in New York. I am a black attorney in New Mexico. A Rubio chef in Louisiana pulling pork. A Canelita schoolgirl in Seattle. I read books in 2 languages. I code switch while performing brain surgery on the descendants of those who see cockroaches when they hear my name. We are everywhere. This is such a beautiful and profound poem that, to her, to Magdalena Gomez, that to me speaks of the multitude of identities that we carry around. In my work with diversity and inclusion, I present myself as a Latina woman. I am originally from Colombia, South America. I've been in the United States for 20 years. But through music, I too have had the opportunity to travel the world and to become acquainted and encounter and actually know close other cultures, other traditions, both geographically, historically, classical music, my own music, which is Latin music, and like this poem says, that spoke to me directly, salsa music. And in my path, I have tried through my playing to bridge those gaps. And that word has become very important to me. How do we bridge, right? Because as much as I want to emphasize my identity, it's not black and white. It's not one only thing. I am Leah, and there's only one Leah in the world, like it's only one of each of us here. And I think that's the beauty of art, how we use art to bridge our identities, our similarities, our differences. And lately I've been thinking a lot about art as that vehicle to really emphasize complexity, because we are complex human beings. We are imperfect, and we tend to perfection, and we're good and we're bad, and we and we have everything in between. So I am very excited to become acquainted to this, with this opportunity to be here speaking to you and to be connected with this project. In Fayetteville, where I am based, I am very active with similar projects as well, and I guess we all have, in one way or another, this mission of bridging art, or through art, our cultures. These days are difficult for all, right? We're in the middle of a second round of a pandemic, or something like it. I don't even know what that means. Our institutions have been closed. Me, as a musician, my voice has been silenced. My orchestra has stopped. I haven't been able to reach out to people the way I usually do through my music. But because of that, I found my own voice in other places to talk about these subjects, to reach awareness of these subjects, and to also share and amplify the voices of those artists that are not out there all the time, or haven't had the opportunity to be there all the time. I guess just to close, the thoughts that come to mind as our role as musicians, artists, audience members, patrons of the arts, we have different ways to deal with our circumstances. We can go to the streets and protest. Some of us do that. Some of us use our voices and our ideas and use the radio or whatever that is to deliver our, what we have in our minds. Some others dance, some others compose music or sing, some others go to concerts, go to events, and find that connection through that internal process that the arts present to us. So I invite everybody to be part of this healing process. We all need the healing, and the healing is not only healing from the pandemic, it's healing of the lack of opportunities for many, the lack of balance. It's healing because of injustices. I like to call it creative justice. And that's, in my mind, that place in which we all have the opportunity to go there with who we are. Questioning and disrupting a little bit the status quo and the canon in my world of classical music is very defined. Who is a musician and whose music has been perpetuated, but there's so many other voices. So challenging that and healing those divisions between cultures, between cultural expressions, artistic expressions. I think it is important too for us as we continue thinking about the arts, that these kids here and other kids not here, my own kids, have the opportunity to lead these initiatives, that we provide to them a safe world in which they know that we all have a voice. So leadership, healing, opportunities for all to put the arts in the place where they need to be so we can all take advantage of it and use them and enjoy them. So thank you all for being here and for supporting this initiative, and count me on all of your projects. I'm very honored to be here, and I'll be happy to continue collaborations. Thank you very much. Mega.
Thank you, Leah. Hi, my name is Megha Rao, and I've been dancing. I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer, and I've been dancing for 20 plus years. When I got to US from India, I literally felt like frog in the well. And it was amazing because I figured out I was happy being frog in the well. But then as and when I started getting exposed to other cultures and other art forms, I realized that, one thing that always resonated in my mind, every time I went to a program, there were people, who would be like, yeah, it was nice, but I couldn't understand. And there were people that were like, oh, we don't want to come because we don't understand. And there were people who would say, oh, Bharatanatyam, yeah, it's so boring. So when I got back, when I got to US, it was not exactly the same, but it was on a similar line that, they were hesitant, they were holding themselves back. And as and when I spoke to artists, organizers, the one thing that I figured out was they were hesitant to try out something new. They were hesitant because they did not know it. They were hesitant because they couldn't understand it. That is when my desire to collaborate, my desire to learn other forms, my desire to make myself educate and understand other art forms so that I can enjoy and then educate others happened. That realization happened. Now, my goal in life was to bridge that gap between the society and the common man and myself and my art form. But when I got here, I realized that it's not just Indian community I need to work with, I need to work with diverse community. And that is when I started taking ballet classes, and I started attending different shows from different artists and started collaborating. Now, thanks to Rave Cultural Foundation, they literally made it happen, for us to collaborate. I am also collaborating with one pop artist, Jasper Lohan, next month. So this desire so that people from other community can see their, familiarity in our art form. By me introducing their music in my dance and their instruments in my dance, their lyrics in my dance will make them more familiarized, with the situation, and they would be like, more uh, willing to go watch, enjoy more. And this is what my intention has been. And thank you, Ravi Cultural Foundation, for making that happen. And for all the artists and organizers out here, I'm here, willing to collaborate. So please count me in if you need any of those collaborative work, or want to spread diversity, love, harmony, peace. Count me in anytime, any day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ibi. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Megha. I hope I have something in my computer, email in the next month or two, that we can support you all in moving forward and actually have a wonderful event next year. Yeah, it takes time to do all these things, so we'll make that, and I look forward to working with all of you and making something happen. So thank you. If any of you artists, any of you would like to go and continue to talk, if you want to use some more time, please, you're welcome. We are going to continue now with our very first annual Kalaloka Institute of Fine Arts showcase of students who've been learning since last year online. And like Leah said, we are in very interesting times, and we've had to find, like Ibi said, we're all like water, and we're all finding our way out. We are finding our way to continue our lives. And the classes that we run through Kalaloka Institute of Fine Arts, we started last year. It was supposed to have started this year, but we preponed it because that was the only thing we could do last year, which was start classes online. So we had, last year we started with Carnatic vocal, Hindustani vocal, and Carnatic violin. These were the three main disciplines that we started last year. This year we are adding Kathak, Tabla, and theatre with Trike Theatre. Did I miss anything? No? Okay. So those are the three we are adding this year. We're very excited, especially with each one of these classes. We're collaborating with different people. The Kathak and Tabla teachers, they're actually from South Carolina and Georgia. They'll be teaching online. We'll be bringing them in here in person next year so that they can have some, in-person classes and also do the annual showcase. And so it's a commitment not just to have a class. The idea, as we just heard, it's about identity, it's about your culture, it's about who you are and giving voice to that. And the community needs to support by coming and hearing you, hearing your voice. Just me singing in my bathroom, okay, I appreciate it. But children need that community. And Kalaloka is all about community. It's about all of us coming together to support each other. So without any further ado, let's call all these children. I think just give us like 2 minutes just to get the space prepared a little, and then we'll hear them sing and perform. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you so much. just a quick announcement while they are setting up. Um, if you have not registered so far, we would like you to register. We'd like to have your email. We'd like to know that you attended. So if you don't mind, Satish is right there at the back, and you can just tell him. He'll have a list, and you can just put on your name and email. And if you've had any trouble registering, you can just register with him, and he'll take care of it. Thank you so much.
I'm Anna George. I'm Bria Rao.
My name is Anila Darun.
My name is Sandhya Prabhakarla. My name is Ditya Rao.
Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. O Lord, the son of Shiva Parvati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Oh, come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Oh Lord, the son of Shiva Parvati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Oh Lord, the son of Shiva Parvati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Riding on a rat, belting a serpent. Riding on a rat, belting a serpent. Having the face of an elephant. Having the face of an elephant. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Oh Lord, the son of Shiva Parvati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. We offer you modaka payasa. Oh Lord, the sustain of Vedavyasa. We offer you modaka payasa. Oh Lord, the sustain of Vedavyasa. Ensure us all Vigna Vinasha. Ensure us all Vigna Vinasha. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. Oh Lord, the son of Shiva Parvati. Come, O bulky stomach Ganapati. जगदोद्धारिणि माता दुर्गा जगदोद्धारिणि मां जगदोद्धारिणि माता दुर्गा जगदोद्धारिणि मां जगो जगो मां jago jago ma, jago jago ma, jago jago ma janani, he gauri devi rana chandi devi, he shivaramani jago ma, he gauri devi rana chandi devi, he shivaramani jago ma, jago jagadu darini ma, jago jagadu darini ma, jago jagadu darini ma, jago jagadu darini ma, जगदोधारिणी माता दुर्गा जगदोधारिणी मां जगदोधारिणी मां जगदोधारिणी मां gama gama da pa ga pa ma re ma ga sa sa gama gama da pa ga pa ma re sa ga sa ni sa ga re ni re sa da sa ni pa pa ni sa ga re ni re sa da pa da शिवबालं वल्लीलोलं वन्दे नन्दं हरिहरमोदं हंसानन्दं हसमुखं गुरुर्गुहारूपं गोप्ताकारं घोररक्षन्तं सुरपतिसेनं सुब्रह्मण्यं सुरवीनुतं वरशिवबालं वल्लीलोलं वन्दे नन्दं हरिहरमोदं हंसानन्दं हसमुखम् सा सा रि नि सा रि गा गा मा गा रि सा नि सा रि गा मा रि सा नि सा 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 रि नि सा रि गा गा मा गा रि सा नि सा रि गा मा रि सा नि सा pa 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 ma ga ma 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 ga ri ga ma ga ri sa ga ma pa da pa ma ri ni sa pa 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 ma ga ma 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 ga ri ga ma ga ri sa ga ma pa da pa ma ri ni sa सन्ततं पाहि मां सङ्गीतश्यामळे सर्वाधारे जननी सर्वाधारे सन्ततं पाहि मां सङ्गीतश्यामळे सर्वाधारे जननी सर्वाधारे चिन्तितार्थप्रदे चिद्रूपिणी शिवे श्रीगुरुगुहसेविते शिवमोहाकारे चिन्तितार्थप्रदे चिद्रूपिणी शिवे श्रीगुरुगुहसेविते शिवमोहाकारे सन्ततं पाहि मां सङ्गीतश्यामळे सर्वाधारे जननी सर्वाधारे सर्वाधारे जननी सर्वाधारे सर्वाधारे जननी सर्वाधारे
thank you all. I want to make a special mention of Vijay Shri Vittal, our music coordinator and their teacher, who has coordinated this all on Skype, on Zoom or whatever. So very big thanks to her. We are really missing her here in person. But she takes these classes at a convenient time for them here in the US, which means she's awake like middle of the night and all that stuff. And we really appreciate all her dedication and hard work. This, our music program, we hired her specially for our music program, and we are so happy we did. So thank you, Vijay Shri. We miss you here. So if you all want to get up, that last song they just sang, I am sure the tune was quite familiar to a lot of you. See, that's the collaboration, right? All these collaborations have been happening for so many years. This was, this is called a notuswaram in Carnatic music. It's just notes, which is very different from the way Carnatic music works. But this happened obviously during the British colonial rule in India, and one of the very famous musicians of the time, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it was Dikshidhar, who came up with this, Muthuswami Dikshidhar. He said, you know, music is music, you know, it doesn't matter. So he created these lyrics and he put it into a Carnatic format. So yeah, so there you go. Our next student is... with our classes. So he teaches our violin classes.
Good afternoon. My name is Arsh Devakarla, and today I'll be playing two songs. The first song will be Sri Gananada, which will be in Malahari Ragam, and the second song will be Kunda Gauda, which will also be in Malahari Ragam. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you.
I have to say this, especially another round of applause for this child, because he's learnt all that in just 6 months. We started the violin classes like one trimester late, and in just 6 months he has learned that much. Typically children can't even hold the bow and play for 6 months, and he has played a Geetam today, which is fantastic. Good job, Arish. Fantastic. And we now next have our two lovely girls who have been learning Hindustani music. So Hindustani and Carnatic music are the two main streams of classical music in India. And they've also been learning from Vijayshri Vittal online since last year. And they'll be presenting what they have learned.
Hello, we're Tanvi and Tanya, and we learn Hindustani music at Kalaloka Institute of Fine Arts. Today we will be presenting 2 complex patterns and 2 small bhajans. Ga ga re sa re mama ga re ma re ga pa pa ma ga pa ga ma da da pa ma da ma pa ni ni da pa ni pa da sa ni da sa da ni re re sa ni sa da da ni sa da sa ni pa pa da ni pa ni da ma ma pa da ma da pa ga ga ma pa ma re ga ma ga sa re ga re ni sa re sa ga re ma no sorry ga ga re sa re ma re ga pa pa ma ga ma da pa ma pa ni da pa ni pa da sa ni da ni re sa ni sa da ni sa ni pa pa da ni pa ni da ma pa da pa ga ma re ga ma ga sa ga re ni re sa ga re ma re ga sa re ma ga ma re ga pa ma da pa ni pa da ma pa ni da sa da ni pa da sa ni sa da ni re sa re ni sa ga re ma re ga sa da ni pa ni da sa ni pa da ma pa ni da ma pa ga pa ma da pa ga ma ga pa ma re ga sa re ni re sa ga re ni sa da sa ni re sa da ni pa ni da sa ga re ma ga pa ga ma re ga pa ma ga ma da pa ni da sa ni sa da ni re sa ga sa re ni sa ga re ma re ga sa da ni pa ni da sa ni pa da pa ni da ma pa ga ma re ga pa ma re ga sa re ni re sa ga re ni sa ni re sa da ni pa ni da sa. Next up, we will be presenting Govinda Madhava in the Rag Yaman. Govinda Madhava Gopala Keshava Govinda Madhava Last but not least, we will be singing Jaya Gange in the Rag Bhupali. Jaya Gange Bhagirathi Hara Gange Bhagirathi Jaya Gange Bhagirathi Hara Gange Bhagirathi Shiva Gange Bhagirathi Hara Gange Bhagirathi Shiva Gange Bhagirathi Hara Gange Bhagirathi Chidananda Shiva Sundara Devi Pavana Devi Jaya Jaya Devi Chidananda Shiva Sundara Devi Pavana Devi Jaya Jaya Devi Amrita Madhura Kanti Mati Devi Lahari Dayani De Amrita Madhura Kanti Mati Devi Lahari Dayani De Jaya Gange Bhagirathi Hara Gange Bhagirathi Shiva Gange Bhagirathi